Hello, my loves. Welcome into this Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse reading for those who have this eclipse in their 8th house, meaning your rising sign is Aries and or 14 degrees 58 minutes of Scorpio shows up in your 8th house. Welcome in. So if you have not already watched the introduction to this reading and you want to learn more about what it is that we're doing here, link is in the description and popping up on YouTube. The 8th house is the house of transformation, and the house system shows us where things happen in our lives. So this full moon is happening in your 8th house. This is the area of your life that deals with transformation, ruled by the 8th sign of the Zodiac, which is Scorpio. Death and rebirth are themes of this house, deep diving, magic, sexuality, and inheritance. Now, for those of you using the whole house system, as an Aries rising, you're always going to have moon phases in the house that aligns with the ruler of that house. So the Scorpio energy is present here in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. That's something unique to Aries rising. It's something that the Aries risings get to experience and no other signs get to experience. Every other sign, rising sign, will have a different ruler of the house for them personally, rather than just the natural ruler of the house. If that doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. You can just forget everything I just said. I just like to dive a little bit deeper with you guys and share a little bit more information about the system, about the houses, so that you can understand a little bit more of the way that the energies play out and influence you in your life. I like Aries rising placements and this house ruler, individual ruler being the same, because I feel it gives you a little extra oomph, a little extra pizzazz. You know, this 8th house, the house of transformation, is ruled by Scorpio, and in your chart, it's ruled by Scorpio. So there's a lot of power in all of the areas of your life, but particularly this one, because we're focusing on the full moon and we're focusing on Scorpio energy. So let's find out from the Light Seer Tarot what affirmation you have for this house and how this house can help you be freed from the human condition. If you have not already, closed your eyes, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance most aligned for you at this time, I invite you to do that. You can call on your spiritual support team if you want to. They love this work. I just ask that they be here in unconditional love and in support of you and your highest good. Pause the video if you need more time. I'm just going to keep shuffling. It did not seem to be the card for you. You guys are having fun with me because there's lots of things flying out, but there's not, your card is not showing itself. Show me one card clearly, please. It keeps showing me like 2, 3, 4 cards. It's just not showing me one card clearly. So maybe there's just some energy here that we get to clear. Maybe some impatience energy on my end. Maybe on your end as well. Maybe you just need more time to set yourself and center yourself. Ooh. I've been using this deck forever. I took pictures of all of these cards. And I have another friend who uses this deck. And I don't remember this card. It's beautiful. I love the moon phases. And it's 8 of Pentacles, 8th house, 8th sign of the Zodiac. Love it. All right, let's get your affirmation. Maybe that's why it took so long to shuffle. It's never been drawn for me. With loving determination, I persevere, and I become the person I long to be. Beautiful. Yeah. This is an awesome card. I love the energy of this card. I really feel like myself, I've been stepping into the Eight of Pentacles energy, which is just getting it done, writing down what do you want to do and knocking things off your list and doing it. So as this relates to the House of Transformation, as this relates to being freed from the human condition, before you go and create that to-do list, there's a deep dive, Scorpio theme, 8th house theme, that you get to do when it comes to who you want to be. Particularly who you want to be as someone who's freed from the human condition. And again, the human condition is the extreme upset and trauma that our soul has gone through from being born into a world that we expected to be loving and nurturing and unconditionally supportive, and the reality that we didn't get that in our home and we didn't get that in the world. And also the mental trauma that we've gone through the whole time, questioning whether or not we didn't get this loving, cooperative world because there was something intrinsically wrong with us. We didn't deserve it. We didn't do enough to earn it. There's something wrong with us, and that's what has created the lack of the conditions that we expected. There's trauma in that area of our life too. That's the human condition. We've all been coping and validation seeking to deal with this pain. The pain in our soul and the pain in our mind. Validation seeking comes from the pain in our mind, and the coping comes from the pain in our soul. When there's pain in our soul, we try to cope with it. We try to mask it. We try to run from it, keep ourselves busy from it. All sorts of habits and addictions, and ones that are socially acceptable and ones that are socially unacceptable. So don't just look at the ones that, you know, might fall under the addiction category. Look at the ones that keeping yourself busy, you know, always on the go, those kinds of things, trying to climb the corporate ladder, those kinds of things are coping mechanisms. And the validation seeking. Seeking validation, seeking attention from others, the different ways that we do it. Some people do it by getting sick. Some people do it by being dramatic. Some people do it by being overly loving and good. There's many different ways that we seek validation. But when we know who we are without the human condition, when we know that our soul is loving, our instinctual nature wants to cooperate, wants to collaborate, wants to be selflessly giving, wants to experience a world that is that, then we can heal our soul, and our mind can finally let go of the story that maybe there's something wrong with us. Truth is, there has never been anything wrong with us. And the spiritual community will say that over and over again, but understanding the human condition gives you the truth, gives you the scientific basis for that euphemism, for that lovely thought. But how can you really integrate that into your life if you don't understand where that's coming from? It's coming from the fact that 10 million years of our species development happened in an altruistic environment, one that was loving, one that was cooperative, one that was selflessly giving. And for 2 million years, as our intellect developed, a great tool for adaptation, much quicker than the genetic adaptation. And really, we are trying to adapt into a larger, more stable whole, always at different levels. We needed the intellect to develop, but we also needed to go against our instinctual nature to learn from what works and what doesn't work. You know, like when you were a kid and your parent told you, don't do this, and you like absolutely had to do that because you had to understand why not to do that. Our species has basically been doing that for the last 2 million years. Even though our instincts, the parent in this analogy, has been saying, hey, we learned long ago that that way of being doesn't work. We're wiser now. You still, as an intellectual being, have to understand why. So, hopefully now that I've said all of that, you have a little fire in your heart, a little flame burning, some Scorpio passion, even some emotional, deep emotional churning, stirring within. That I was just getting this visual, of the Aries eclipse, solar eclipse, which is the moon phase that happened right before this one. It's like it's the fire that's like bringing the water to a boiling point. Interesting. If you didn't watch your Aries reading for this solar eclipse, I recommend going to watch that. There might be something there for you too. But anyway, what is this evoking in you? What do you envision for yourself? How do you envision yourself giving, living, feeling about yourself, thinking about yourself with this understanding? And what physical things that you need to do? Pentacles is physical reality. What physical things do you need to do in order to live the truth of who you are? Is it an affirmation about your worth? Is it a morning routine? Is it a gratitude journal? Is it having conversations about this material? Is it giving of your resources to someone? Is it creating a physical representation of this truth? What physical steps can you take to become your soul's ideal? Let me get the exact wording here again. The person you long to be. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the person you long to be is a cooperative, loving, compassionate soul. So with perseverance and determination, you will become that soul. You already are that soul. You're actually just learning to let go of the parts of you that have coped with the human condition and hid that part of you, because we grew up in a world where it wasn't safe to be loving and cooperative and selflessly giving. And we're unlearning that. So it takes some time and some effort. And that's what you're going to be doing over the next 6 months. All right, my loves. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.